Hey guys, Dan here. I realized I did not do the trade recap earlier. I also realized somehow the log got really messed up. I'm sure it was something I did. And I can't get the trades on my chart to line up with what the log is saying. Therefore, I think I started doing something wrong. So here's my actual account. We're gonna use what the account says. And oddly enough, it also shows I had no losses. I thought I had two losses. Very weird day, but a good day. Um, yeah, and the gains aren't adding up to what I thought they were, and I don't know what's going on, but I do know this is truth. This is actually what happened. So the first trade was at 746. I came on at about 745, and right away this trade was developing. Lee and the group are already up 2 for 2 when I showed up. So remember, we get a bull signal, yay. Then we need it to validate. It has to cross the dot. If there's no dot, it has to cross the wick. In this case, there's a dot. It validated on this candle here. And then on the next candle, the chop index went down and I was in and out. So you can see 746 entry, 748 exit, and that's right here. Uh, Not a big trade, but $4 a contract. Had a lot of little ones, but I had a lot of big ones too. Not a lot, but I had some big ones. Next, 752, we entered, and that is right here. I thought I had that already sketched out here. So entered here, bull signal way down here, original bull signal actually. Now what happened here is I actually thought that I was taking kind of a re-entry. Remember, I've said over time a few times that when the price stalls out and then breaks through again and the chop index drops, it's usually a pretty good trade. In hindsight, you can see I jumped the gun. It didn't clear this. And although the chop index was fairly low, it wasn't low enough. So this one I got in at, let me get that time right, 829. What am I doing over here? It's way over here. No, 752. Sorry, I was in that one a long time. So entered here. I'm going to move this X to exited at 829, right? 752, 829. Boy, my brain is not working great. Okay, I already had that set up. So I held it. I did ignore an exit signal or two, but the market was pretty bullish, and I fully believed that it would hold the 50-day moving average because it had been holding, and it did. It held 1, 2, 3, or 4 times, and then you can see here I did exit at 829. So that was a long trade, and I made $3 a contract. Now I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's still 120 bucks. Okay, next trade after that one, I got in at 833. Also was in that a long time, and got out at 855. Really long trade for me. So 833 to 855. Okay, so and my exit was here. I don't know what that's there for. So you can see here, I entered here. Chop index was steadily coming down. We already had the bull signal. It had to clear this dot right here. So it actually validated up here, but or down here, I should say. But I wasn't really thrilled with the chop index. And when I finally did come in, it was a little bit late. And once again, I let it come down to the 50. That's normally what I'll do. I do really urge new members, people learning, to get out on these pink arrows. These are the signals. You will never take a big loss. Never, ever take a big loss if you mind these exit arrows. When you know what you're doing and you know where resistance is and support and buy blocks and all that, fine. So we let it bounce off. It bounced off nicely. And then I exited at 855. You can see that right here with a whopping $1 a contract. Now that's not really a win because that's about what commissions cost. So then 915, more like it. The bull signal fired way down here. It validated way down here. I was a little bit shell shocked from those two long, painful trades. They worked out, but they weren't fun. So I waited. And by the way, the chop index did not drop until here. But here's where I really should have gone in instead here. But I was in and out in what? One candle? Yep, 915 to 916 and made $5 a contract. So again, this is $200 for me. Next trade came along at 953. We'll scroll over to here. Here we go. And this was also a long trade that I was late on. So bull signal down here, and there were no dots, so you had to clear the wicks, and the wicks were across here. You can actually see this little dash line. So it had to clear here, and it kind of danced around it here. Finally dropped down here. Again, not exactly sure why I didn't go in on this candle. It would have been a little bit better. I waited. Exit fired right after I entered, but you can see how low the volume was relative to these others. So I did ignore that signal, and then I exited here at 10 sharp, and that was $6 a contract. So that's $240. So if you don't know options, these say cents, but an option contract is 100 shares. So when you see 6 cents, think $6, because this is 100 shares. Then now we're starting to cook here. Let's see, we talked about that one. 10:15. This got really exciting here. At 10:15, this candle right here. This is the kind that you should wait for, and then you don't have to go through this agony that I did. Bear signal triggered here. Green dots here. You can see that. I'm going to move this line down to the green dot. So looking for it to validate. It kind of validated here, but here it validated and the chop index dropped really fast. That was $15 a contract. That was a $600 trade. And I was in that trade less than, I think, 30 seconds. 10:15 to 10:15. And then another biggie came along at 10:27. This one was even better. Got the bear signal. There are no dots, so we just have to clear this wick here. Also, that jagged line was, a dotted line was there. So it validated here. Did I go in at 10:27? I did. I'm surprised. I think normally I would have waited for a bigger drop in the chop index. But this price, this was a pretty big breakthrough. And also it broke below the 200-day moving average. And the chop index was down. Make no mistake. It was at 46. So that's nice and low. And then I was out of this thing in 1 minute, and that was $27 a contract. So that was over $1,000 trade. And then 10:36, we took another one here. And again, we already had the bear signal. The price stalled out here on that last trade. So we needed a break below this wick here. We did on this candle. The chop index dropped mildly. Again, not the best setup, but I was on a roll. So in 1 minute, another $6 a contract, another $250. And then we took one more at 11:12. Also painful. Entered here. We had the bear signal. There are no dots, so you have to clear the wick. And the wick is here. So it validated here. The chop index did drop. I would say this was a valid entry. But again, it backed up on me. Held it because why? The 50-day, sorry, not the 50-day, but there was a giant sell block here. And the 50-day did come through here. Actually, it did touch the 50. So there were two reasons to not hold this. Again, as I just keep telling new members, look at where the exit came. The exit came here with a really small loss. At one point, this was a pretty big drawdown. So more risk than I like new people to take. But again, it paid off, and it was another 3 cents a contract. So all in all, it was a great day. It looks like it was a better day than I put on the ledger because there were no losses. I swore I took a loss today, or two losses. Might have been I was trading futures the same time as I was trading options. We're testing our system on futures. It's working extremely well, by the way. I made another $1,000 or so trading futures. I think I took two losses on the futures, and that's why they're not showing up on the options ledger. So hope this makes sense. Sorry, this one was really what am I want to say? Not my best recording. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Bye.